Hey there, MFFLs. Harrison Graham here. We got a busy show as it is draft week in the NBA. Welcome to Mavericks Today. Could a return with another Harrison happen? Harrison Barnes returning to the Mavericks. Could that be in store? Hoops Hype saying Dallas could explore a reunion with the veteran forward. Now, you go back to his time with the Mavs where he spent over 200 games in Dallas. He was a good player here. 18.7 points, 5.2 rebounds. Fairly efficient, almost 45% from the field, 36.7 from three. Now, those splits have gone up in a lesser role with Sacramento, which you would obviously expect if he came back to Dallas, it would be in a lesser role than it was when he was here. He was basically the lead guy for those garbage Mavs teams there for a couple of years. But you kind of look at his time in Sacramento, and he's kind of just been a nice complementary piece. Basically, 14 to 16 points there, 47-ish% from the field, 38-ish% from three if you average it all out. I mean, if you told me that if Dallas brought him in and he averaged 15 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 47% from the field, 38 from three, I would take that in a heartbeat. I think he would be an excellent complementary piece. Now, the only problem is, A, what does it cost? And B, what is his role? He's certainly a different player than he was in Dallas, like I've mentioned. He's been more of a complementary role player for Sacramento, providing some veteran leadership, which he could bring that back to Dallas. He would not be asked to be a lead dog, which is what he was when the Mavs brought him around at the first time. So we cooked up this trade idea, sign-in trade, because he is a free agent, but for the Mavericks to pay him, they would have to dump some salary. So send back Tim Hardaway in a second to Sacramento for Harrison Barnes. Could make sense. Sacramento could accept if Barnes is intent on leaving regardless. I'd have no problem with this whatsoever. I think Barnes is an upgrade from Hardaway. He's a better defender, more consistent shooter, and second-round picks, just who cares? Like, it's not that big of a deal whatsoever. Now, if you want Harrison Barnes back in Dallas, type 40 down in the comments below. Again, who knows what a contract looks like, but drop the 40s down in the comments section right now if you want to see him back. Now, does Harrison Barnes fit? I think he could because he provides some leadership. He would give you some much-needed wing depth as well. And, again, I think he could be a calming influence in this locker room that probably got a little shaky at times this past year. What does a contract look like? I think 15 to 20 million per year. He signed for four years, 85 million with Sacramento last time around. 3 for 55, 3 for 60. I mean, somewhere in that range. That's probably what I would be thinking Harrison Barnes would get. My only issue is I think he's a number 4 on a championship team. If you signed him, he'd probably be your number 3 behind Luka, and assuming you get back Kyrie. Is that enough to contend at a high level? That remains to be seen. Now, coming up next, we're going to take a look at another free agent. Could Dallas sign Grant Williams, who certainly was in the thick of things in the playoffs with the Boston Celtics? We will explore that. But first, today's show is sponsored by NordVPN. You can get started today at nordvpn.com/MavericksCS. Protect your digital world right now and get up to 63% off with NordVPN's 2-year plans. They are striving to make the internet better than it is today because it can be free from online threats, censorship, and surveillance. Get your online security package right now by visiting that previously mentioned link, nordvpn.com/MaverickCS. That'll get you 4 months for free by using that link in the comments and in the description when you purchase the NordVPN 2-year plan. Let me tell you about all of the features you're going to get with the NordVPN package. You're going to get online protection with the single click. Don't miss out on your favorite content like Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. You'll be able to stay safe from malware and, best part, fastest VPN on the planet. So not only is the security excellent, it's very fast as well. And all of this is as simple as a click. Choose your location and click connect. NordVPN will not track you or share what you do online. Your data is always protected by their next generation encryption. So get started now. Click the link in the description or the comments right now. That's nordvpn.com/MaverickCS to get 4 months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's nordvpn.com/MaverickCS. Let's talk more free agency rumors. Grant Williams, is he a potential target for the Mavericks? He is restricted, but he could fit the profile that the Mavs are looking for. Gives you a little bit of 3-and-D action there. You look at his splits in Boston. The last couple of years in particular, he's been able to stay healthy, and he can shoot the basketball. I mean, he's around a 40% three-point shooter over the last 3 years when you average those numbers. He's not a guy that's going to come in and average 15 points. I think he can maybe give you a tick more than he did in Boston. Maybe he can give you 10 points per game off the bench in Dallas. And I think the Mavs are going to be looking to bolster that second unit a little bit as well. Stretch 4 type is Grant Williams. Now, Connor Roche of Boston.com had this to say about Williams' impending free agency. He says a few possible suitors have already appeared to emerge for Grant Williams. It's been reported that the Magic and Pacers are expected to pursue him. The Mavericks have joined the list of potential suitors, and Dallas has also expressed interest in the forward. So that is interesting. Now, Grant Williams is seeking a contract worth $20 million. Now, surely that's not annually, because if it is, no thank you. But if it's like a 2-year 20, or hell, 3-year 20, because the Mavs could give him the taxpayer, which is $7.5 million. You could do 3 years of that, so that'd be what, 3 years, 22.5. I mean, I think that's a pretty good deal for Dallas. If he's seeking $20 million per year, best of luck. I'm certainly not going to pay that. You look at Mavericks moves they could make now. Anything they have to do would be a sign-in trade or that taxpayer mid-level, like I mentioned, the $7.5 million. So, if they're going to pay Grant Williams more than that, again, I'm not paying him $20 million per year, but if they want to give him, $10+ million or whatever the case may be, they would have to send Boston back some salary in a sign-and trade. Now, pick one. Who would you rather acquire this offseason? Type HB for Harrison Barnes. Type GW for Grant Williams. I'd rather have Barnes, even though he's an older player, and you could argue Williams is ascending. I just think Barnes can help you more right now. Subscribe to the channel, regardless of what the Mavs do. Every single move that takes place, we will have it covered with a video during the offseason. Hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. More coverage to come when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks. Some trade talks have taken place between the Mavericks and the Hawks. The two teams have been in discussions around a deal involving the Mavericks number 10 pick and the Hawks number 15 pick. A couple of ideas have been thrown out there. Now, the issue to why a deal has not taken place is the Hawks are trying to dump John Collins, and they have made an offer. The Mavericks would rather get Clint Capela back from Atlanta. Obviously, these teams have done deals before, the Trae Young-Luka deal on draft night, so another draft night deal could certainly take place between these two franchises. Now, when you compare the two players, Dallas wanting Capela and the Hawks willing to move Collins, I understand why the Mavs want Capela. Now, John Collins is a 3-level scorer. He can score around the basket, mid-range, and three-point range. He's a better shooter, obviously. Capela, he's a role guy that scores around the basket and defends at a decent level. But Capela's skill set just fills more for what Dallas needs. They haven't had a true 5 in a long time. He's not quite the shot blocker that he once was, but he's a rebounding machine. He can score around the basket. He knows exactly who he is. And by the way, something rubs me the wrong way with John Collins at this point too. It's like, why is your role decreasing year after year? Like, something doesn't add up with him and the Hawks, whereas what you're getting with Capela. Sure, the ceiling of Collins is higher, but I think Capela actually helps more right now, which is why I don't blame the Mavs for trying to go that route. And I think on top of all of that, Capela's contract is much more manageable than John Collins. John Collins is making over $25 million per year over the next 3 years, and if his play continues to decline, you're stuck with him through 26 because he will opt into that $26.6 million deal if his play does not improve and get back to a level where it was a couple of years ago. So we'll see what happens. There's been chatter of the Mavs could get Collins in 15 for like Hardaway in 10. I don't know. I'd rather get Capela, and I think the Mavs would too. Now, pick one to trade for. Who would you rather have? Type 15, look Capela's number, or type 20 for John Collins. Let me know who you would rather acquire from the Atlanta Hawks on draft night. So I think this would definitely be a draft night trade. All right, guys, appreciate you for tuning in to today's show. 3 days until the draft. We'll have videos leading up to that tomorrow, Wednesday, then it is draft day on Thursday. Appreciate the MFFLs for rocking with us. We'll see you next time here on Dallas Mavericks Today.